Today on Flavors and Knowledge, a meatball tutorial. Welcome back, dear listeners. This is Chef Walter, your host of Flavors and Knowledge. And today, a culinary journey of the Italian meatballs. Some suggestions and some pitfalls that you ought to avoid. So let's delve into the fascinating history of Italian meatballs, explore the steps to create a perfect batch, discuss the type of meats choices, and uncover the various pitfalls to avoid for a successful execution. Italian meatballs, or as they are known in Italian cuisine, polpette, are much more than just a dish. They are a culinary journey, a delightful tradition with a history as rich as flavorful as the meatballs themselves. These savory spheres of ground meat, often accompanied by herbs, spices, and cheeses, have become a beloved part of Italian culinary heritage and have of course spread their delicious influence across the globe. The origin of Italian meatballs can be traced back to ancient Rome, where ground meat was combined with bread, spices, and various flavorings to create a dish similar to what we now know as the meatballs. However, the modern version of Italian meatballs was probably created in the Middle Ages when Arab traders introduced several spices such as cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves to the Italian culinary repertoire. During the Renaissance, meatballs gained popularity among Italian nobility as a luxurious dish, often served at banquets and feasts, and over time, they became more accessible to the general population as ingredients became more rarely available. Furthermore, Italian immigrants later on brought their cherished recipes to countries like the United States, where the meatballs became a staple of the Italian-American cuisine. But let's move into some steps for success. Here are some suggestions that I put together. Number one on my list, selecting the meat. For the best flavor and texture, please choose a combination of ground meats. A traditional mix of beef, pork, and veal is often used, but you can also use ground turkey or chicken for a much lighter version. In this case, your butcher is your best ally. Number two on the list, adding flavor. Incorporate finely chopped onions, garlic, fresh herbs like parsley and basil, grated Parmigiano cheese, breadcrumbs, or soaked bread, and eggs into the meat mixture. These ingredients enhance the flavor and it will help bind the meatballs all together. The step is critical and challenging, so please be careful when you reach this particular period of the preparation. Then we have the mixing and the shaping. You gently mix the ingredients until you just combine to avoid overworking the meat, which can result in tough meatballs. Shape the mixture into evenly sized balls, either using your hands or a scoop for uniformity. Then we have the cooking method. Baking meatballs in the oven is probably a healthy alternative to frying them in a skillet. So you want to position the meatballs on a baking sheet, which you've lined with a double sheet of parchment paper, and bake them in the oven until they turn golden brown and are fully cooked. And lastly, the serving aspect, the one that we wait for, right? Serve the meatballs hot with your favorite sauce, typically marinara or a very nice strong tomato sauce. I've seen also people use Alfredo or various cream sauce. That's entirely up to you. It's all subjective. They, of course, can be enjoyed alone, with pasta, or laid in sandwiches. As far as meat choices, the choices of meat significantly impacts the flavor and the texture of your preparation. And while a blend of beef, pork, and veal is traditional, You can customize the meat mixture to suit your preference. Here are some options that I'm suggesting. Beef, of course, provides a rich flavor and a hearty texture. Pork will add moisture and tenderness to the meatballs. Veal will contribute to a delicate flavor and a light texture. Then we have the turkey or the chicken, which will offer a leaner alternative with a much milder taste, but that it's again up to you. The ideal practice here is always experimenting with combination to discover your perfect meatball blend, what you like, what your guest would like, and so it's totally subjective. I've also put a list together of the pitfalls to avoid, and these are some of the things that you want to keep an eye on in order to ensure that your meatball will turn out perfectly every time. First on my list is overmixing. Avoid overmixing the meat mixture, which can result in dense and tough meatballs. Mix the ingredients just until combined. Skipping the seasoning. Proper seasoning is essential for flavorful meatball. Don't skimp on herbs, spices, or salt, as they will enhance the dish's final taste. Using dry meat. Always choose fresh, high-quality ground meat for tender and juicy meatballs. Avoid using meat that has been frozen or thawed multiple times. Frying at a wrong temperature is also very important. You want to ensure the oil is hot enough to brown the meatballs evenly without burning them. When heat is too low, meatballs can result very greasy, and when the temperature of your heat is too high, it can cause them to burn and still be partially cooked on the inside. Lastly, and a particular suggestion is crowding the pan. Always give the meatballs enough space in the pan or baking sheet for that even cooking you're looking for. Overcrowding can cause steaming instead browning. And that is all for this particular episode on a little lesson on how to make meatballs and some suggestion. And we'll reconnect on the next round. Please subscribe to Flavors and Knowledge. Watch us on YouTube, and if you're in the kitchen today or tonight, always keep your eyes on the fire. I'll make sure I reconnect with you on the next round. Take care of yourself. Ciao, ciao.
Flavors and Knowledge is brought to you by Chef Walter's Cooking School in Cranston, Rhode Island. For classes, workshops, events, and programs, please visit our website at chefwalterscookingschool.com. For all other services offered by Chef Walter's Food Group, check out our main website, chefwalter.com.